Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been so long since I've last posted, but the fall is here and I had to recreate this pumpkin spice look. I feel like it's so pretty. It's very fall. It's super easy to achieve, so I definitely hope you guys do love this look and do recreate it. So further ado, just keep on watching. So guys, off camera I had already prepped and set my eyes, so now we're good to go. So for the first palette, I'm going to be using the Beige Cosmetics and Daisy Marquez palette. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have this palette. I actually recently just got my hands on this. I went to Ulta and I was gonna pick up some other stuff, and then I saw her display and I was like, I have to get my hands on this palette. The colors are so pretty, and obviously to support her as well. So we're gonna be using only two shades from this palette. We're gonna be using the shades Dulce and Vintage. And for the brush, you guys, I'm gonna be using the Sigma Tapered Blending Brush in E40. So I'm pretty much just gonna be applying Dulce all over the crease. Now that we're done with our transition, I'm gonna be using the shade Vintage now, and I'm gonna be using the Morphe M441. And pretty much that's gonna be the first color that we're gonna be using. I will be using two other shades from two different palettes. You don't have to do that, I just chose to, but if you just have the Jaclyn palette or you have the Daisy palette, you can honestly just stick to those two colors. So I'm going to be grabbing more of that Vintage shade and I'm going to keep blending it, or más dicho, I'm going to keep adding more just so it can be like the color that I want it to be. But a tip I can give you guys is always work in small sections. Don't grab a lot of eyeshadow and then start blending it, because instead of making the eyeshadow look better, it can look worser. So after we're done with that palette, now I'm going to be grabbing the Morphe and Jeffree Star palette, and I'm just going to be using one shade from this palette. And if you don't have this palette, you don't necessarily have to use these colors. You can work with whatever it is that you have. I'll be using the shade Boss Angel, which is also like a burnt orange. It's a little bit more on the deeper side. It looks like this. It's this one right here. It's like a burnt orange. And for the brush, you guys, I'm going to be using the Beige Cosmetics 103 brush. So this brush is pretty much just like a flat shader brush, and we're going to be focusing this color all over the lid and kind of blending it out as well. And with the same brush we were using, the Morphe M441 brush, I just grabbed a little bit of that same shade from the Jeffree palette. And we're going to be focusing on the outer part just so it can look more seamless. And once we're done with those two shades, I'm going to be grabbing another color, and it's from the Jaclyn palette. This is the shade we will be using for the Jaclyn palette. It's like a burnt orange, and we're going to be adding that color all over the lid. That's going to be our main focus, is just to apply that all over the lid. So guys, off camera I had already applied my lashes. So now for the skin to prep, we're going to be using these two primers right here, and they're both from e.l.f. So I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer, and I've heard amazing things about this primer. I've heard it's very comparable, and it's even a dupe for the Milk Makeup Primer. Now, I've heard that it's even better than that one, which I'm excited because this is my first time using this. And this, I will say, is not for if you have like textured skin, or if you have discoloration, or if you suffer from pores. This won't help with that. So you're going to have to use like a separate primer from this. Now, for like pores and stuff, I'm going to be using this one, which I'm pretty sure you guys have also heard about it. So it's the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and this primer is amazing. Like, I personally don't have the Tatcha one, but I've heard it's really good. Like, it's comparable to the Tatcha one, and this one will help you with minimizing your pores and minimizing texture. In my opinion, it does work. I don't suffer from pores like a lot, but I do see like the difference. So I'm going to be using both of these in my face. I'm going to be starting off with this one first. And I've heard that it's like a very sticky consistency. It's kind of like the same as the Milk makeup. So I'm excited. It smells really good. It smells like watermelon and Jolly Ranchers. Okay, it's starting to get really sticky. So as I'm applying it, it's sticky, but it's not like that bad. So when I was watching reviews about this primer, people were making it seem like it was like candy sticky, and honestly it's not. Like it's sticky but not like uncomfortable. Next we're going to be using the Putty primer, and I'm just grabbing a little bit and just focus that wherever you have pores. So with me it's going to be right here, and I'm just going to rub that all over. Now that our primer is set into the skin, for foundation I'm going to be using these two right here, and it's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation Sticks, and I'm going to be using the shade Golden Tan and Sand Beige to get like my perfect shade. Now these foundations I have been using for a while now, and I like them. I use it like every day or every time I do my makeup. I've actually done videos on Instagram like showing you guys, and this foundation is like medium coverage, medium to full coverage. But I will say, like, if you do have oily skin, I do not recommend these. These are like not good for oily skin. If you do have normal or dry skin, I highly recommend these. So I'm going to be starting off with the shade Golden Tan and just put that all over my face. And then I'm going to be using the next shade, which is Sand Beige, and this one I'm just going to go over a little bit. It looks like a lot, but like, I don't know, this is what I do. Sometimes I do go less though. Like right now I look a little crazy, but just bear with me guys. So I look so crazy guys. You guys may think like that's like a little too much foundation, but I promise you guys, I mean, it doesn't leave it cakey, which is what I like. And I'm going to be using it with this Morphe M439 brush. I always recommend you guys using foundation brushes like this if you're going to be using like cream foundations, because it's going to leave your skin like fuller coverage, and it still leaves it really like smooth with this brush at least. So guys, now that we're done with our foundation, for concealer I'm going to be using this one right here. It's the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer, and I'm going to be using the shade Medium Beige. And this concealer guys is so amazing. I believe it's like $6 or $8, I'm not sure, but the coverage on this is amazing. It's honestly a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. It's not the same consistency. I will say this one is quicker on drying, but it's so good. Like, I love using this concealer. Concealer guys, a little bit does go a long way. I will say you have to be pretty fast on working with this concealer as well. So now you guys, I'm gonna grab a little bit of translucent powder. I'm using the Laura Mercier one, and I'm just gonna go underneath the eyes, just because since this concealer is very fast in drying, I don't want it to crease so quickly, so that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. Now that I'm done setting my under eyes, I'm going to be cream contouring, and I'm going to be using the shade Where's Walnut from Wet n Wild. I've actually used this in my past videos, and I personally love this cream contour stick. It's super affordable, it's very easy to blend, it's super creamy, it does not dry up, and it's like a good in-between shade, so it's like a neutral shade. To blend that cream contour out, I'm going to be using this e.l.f. small stipple brush, and what I do, you guys, is I grab a little bit of rose water and apply it into the brush, and I just kind of dab it into the skin, and I'm just going to be using that all over the cream contour. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of like bouncing it back and forth. I'm not tugging or rubbing it, because if you tug or you rub it, you're defeating the purpose. You're gonna actually remove your foundation. So I highly recommend you guys to stipple it to like do it like in circles. It gives you like more coverage and it does the work for you. So now that I'm somewhat done blending the cream contour, I'm going to move on to my nose. And I'm going to be using this Sigma Precision Round P82 brush. And I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm not going to like move it around. I'm just going to bounce the product around. You don't want to defeat the purpose of removing the product because it's just going to mess up everything. So now guys, I'm going to be setting my under eyes and pretty much all of my face with translucent powder. Off camera guys, I already put blush and bronzer, and I also put like setting powder to clean everything up. So for bronzer, I just use like my favorite, which is the butter bronzer from Physicians Formula, and for blush, also my favorite, which is the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. So that's what I'm using. And then for highlight, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. I've used this as well in my past videos. And also off camera, I already set my skin with the Badescu Rose Water. Now for lips, I'm going to be using this one right here, and it's the Maybelline SuperStay Matte Ink Liquid Lip, and I'm going to be using the shade Globetrotter number 135, and it's like the perfect burnt orange apricot pumpkin spice liquid lip. This is what's going to like bring the whole look together. So guys, that was it for today's video. I definitely hope you guys enjoyed. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below, and also click the notification bell to be updated for any future videos. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video.